guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be creating this purple eyeshadow that I just did. I absolutely loved how it came out. Honestly, I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do today, but I was feeling a purple eyeshadow look. Purple is my favorite color, so I was like, you know what, let's do a purple look, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So if you guys want to see how I created this look, then just keep on watching. Alright guys, so I already went and just pinned my hair on the back. I didn't want my hair to be all over my face. So we're gonna go ahead and just start out with our eyebrows. For my eyebrows, I use the NYX micro brown pencil in color black. For our eyelids, we're gonna be using the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer. And when you're putting the concealer on your eyelids, try not to put a lot, because if you put a lot, then your eyeshadow is gonna like crease, and you don't want that. So a little does go a long way with this. So don't overdo it when it comes to your concealer. Moving to eyeshadow. For eyeshadow, we are gonna be using this one right here, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Norvina collection palette volume 1. I love this palette. When it came out, I had to buy it. These are the eyeshadows, you guys. Like, look how beautiful. You guys can't tell me this ain't beautiful. Like, I love each and every eyeshadow here, especially the purples. That's what really just caught my attention with this eyeshadow. So we're gonna be working with those purples today. We're gonna start out with this one right here, which is A2. And we're going to start out with a brush, which is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush. It came with one of her palettes, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. And I'm going to be starting with this one right here. The way I'm going to start is I'm just tapping the color where I want it to be. Just like this. And once we have that color, I'm going to go back to the color, tap it, and start blending it out. With colors, it is a little harder to blend, so I am definitely going to take my time when it comes to blending. I'm going to bring it up a little bit more up. I want this color to definitely show, that's why I'm bringing it up all the way close a little bit to my eyebrow. Tapping it again, doing the same step. Once I have that blend out, I'm gonna use the same product I have here. I'm not gonna add more to my brush. And I'm just going to use it to go upwards, kind of going to my eyebrow. We're moving on to our next step. So then I'm gonna grab a smaller blending brush, and I'm gonna be dipping into this one right here. That one is B1. I'm gonna be putting this one right in that crease right here and just blending that out. And as I am blending this color out, I'm also gonna bring it downwards to blend it down here as well. Grabbing a little bit more and just working with this product in the crease. Remember, go down here and up again. All right, so for our next eyeshadow, we're gonna be grabbing this brush. Is a flat brush, and we're gonna be dipping into this one, which is a 3 in B4. We're just gonna be dipping into these both. And for these colors, we're only gonna put it here on the corner of our eye and just pressing it down. And as you guys can see, I'm not going past the half of my eye. I just want it on the corner here, so I'm just tapping it down, grabbing a little bit more. Next, I am gonna be grabbing a pointy brush, and that color that we just put right here in our corner, we're gonna be just blending it out just on this half of the corner of our eye. And as you guys can see, I'm grabbing my brush all the way down, that way I can have more control, and that way my blending will come out more smooth. That's what you want, for it to come out smooth, blendable, like really nice. For our next step, we're actually going to be cutting our crease, and for that I'm going to be using a flat brush. I actually got this brush from Wet n Wild, and to cut out that crease, we're going to be using my Maybelline Instant H Rewind. And the trick for cutting that crease, the way I do it, I just put a little bit here on my eyelid, and I just look up, and once you bring your eye down, you're gonna see that line. That's where you're gonna trace to make that crease. So I'm just following that line.
A few moments later.
You guys, I'm sorry if you guys hear the AC in the video. It's been super hot in LA, so there's no way I cannot have the AC on. It's just way too hot. So for our next color, we are gonna be dipping into this one right here, which is A1, and I'm gonna be using a really small flat brush, just like this one. I'm gonna be dipping into this color. I'm not throwing the excess away, and I'm gonna be using this color to put that on that crease that we just cut. When I first moved to LA, you guys, I used to live in Hollywood, and we used to not have AC when we lived here. It was horrible, like horrible. So we moved down to the valley, and thank God we have AC now, because I was dying. I feel like going back to Kentucky. It was just so bad. Once we're done putting that color in our lid, we're gonna grab this pointy brush again. Make sure you clean it before you actually use it, especially if you had a color. And we are gonna be just kind of blending these two colors in between, the one in the eyelid and the one here, just so you won't see that harsh separating from it. Just really small, kind of feathery blending. Awesome. All right, so we are done with our eyes. Next we are actually gonna be cleaning this area up. As y'all can see, I went a little lower. It happens, especially when you're working with colors like this. So just grab one of your makeup removers and just clean this area down. I'm just basically doing a straight line up like this, just to clean it out. be very careful, because you also don't want to like overpass it, because then you just wasted a lot of your time blending. So you don't want to go back and blend again. Just like this. Moving on to foundation for today, we are going to be using the Anastasia foundation. It is Anastasia Beverly Hills Luminous Foundation. So how has the weather been where you guys live? Like I mentioned, in LA is super hot. Oh my god, this is the time where I drain for it to come, because it gets so hot here that I just can't stand it. I'm gonna grab a little bit more. With this foundation, I definitely start with a little and just building it up, because it is very full coverage. And make sure we're not putting foundation right here in your under eye, because that's where our concealer goes. We don't want to put foundation there, otherwise it will start caking up. So don't put foundation there, just concealer. And remember to bring it down your neck. Some in the forehead. I love this foundation. It's actually one of my favorite foundations. If you guys haven't tried it, you guys need to. It is very dewy, and if you guys are the type of girls that like dewy, not like matte, this is gonna be the foundation for you guys. It's full coverage, dewy, you look luminous. Like, what more can you ask? Moving on to concealers, we are gonna be using my two favorite ones that I've always used. The first one is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and the second one is gonna be the e.l.f. Camo Concealer. We're gonna start out with the Maybelline one, and we're just doing a kind of like a triangle going down our nose. Same thing on this side. Grabbing our beauty blender and just tapping that in. We want to bring this concealer a little bit up here, that way our eyes can be lifted. And then we're gonna grab our e.l.f. concealer one. This one, I get it in color light peach. I do get it a little bit lighter than the one I just put in, because I like this one just to brighten up those under eyes. And just blending it in with my beauty blender. I'm gonna grab my concealer from Maybelline again, and I'm gonna be just putting some here, some in the forehead, and in my nose down here. Moving on to our next step, we're gonna be grabbing some of our translucent powder. I use the Airspun translucent one. Grabbing our beauty blender and just making sure everything is blended in underneath our eyes. Grabbing some of it with the pointy side and just tapping it down. I just put a little bit, I'm really dry underneath my eyes, so a little bit is fine. And then I'm gonna grab a little bit more, and just on my T-zone area right here, I just dab this translucent powder. I don't let it sit there. Alright guys, so next I'm actually gonna go back to my eyes, because I did forget a step. I'm gonna be grabbing my flat brush and grabbing my setting spray. I can't believe I forgot this step. And I'm gonna be just spraying my flat brush, grabbing my palette, and then I'm gonna be dipping into this one right here that we put into our lid. And with our wet brush, I'm just gonna dab it into our eyelid, and it's gonna bring that color back to life. Okay, so moving on to bronzers. After we did that, we're good. For bronzer, I'm going to be using my butter bronzer, and it's in the color Sun Kiss. For our next step, we're going to be grabbing a brush like this. This is the brush I use just to remove all this powder under our eyes. And then I'm going to be grabbing a smaller brush, grabbing my bronzer, and I'm going to be using this to contour my nose. We're grabbing our translucent powder again, our beauty blender, and with the pointy side, we're going to be tapping into it, and we are going to be putting this on the corner of our nose, just like this, just to contour that nose even more, just to snatch it down, just like that. And then with the flat side, I'm gonna grab a little bit more and just put it on the side of my cheeks. We want it to look like we contoured, but we really didn't, so that's the trick, you guys. Moving on to blush. So I am actually gonna be using the Milani one. It's in 02 Floral Fantasy, and I'm gonna be dipping into this one, this pink one right here, and just putting it in the apples of my cheeks and going up towards my temple. And for highlighter, I'm gonna be using the Wet n Wild Mega Glow, and just putting it on the high ends of my face, some in the forehead. I am actually going to go back into the palette. We're going to go into this color right here. It's the color, we're going to dip into this one, which is the B1. We are going to be putting this color right here underneath our eyes and going upwards. Ooh, I love it. Moving on to lashes. For lashes, I'm going to be using one of my favorite ones, which is the Ardell Demi Wispies. So I went and go ahead and put on my eyelashes, as you guys can see. So for our next step, I'm just going to be removing this powder that we had in our nose. And as you guys can see, my nose is so snatched up just because we put that setting spray and we left it there for a good while just to set, you know, and bake. And I'm also removing this powder here on my cheek as well. For our lips, we are going to be using a lip liner in NYX Lingerie Push-Up in color Bedtime Flirt. Today we are actually going to be using lip gloss, and for the lip gloss I'm going to be using the Dose of Color lip gloss in color Seriously. You guys, if you guys haven't tried out Dose of Colors, it is an amazing brand. I love all their lipsticks, all their lip glosses, all their like makeup, all of their eyeshadows is amazing. So you guys really need to try it. They have matte lipsticks too. So yeah, they're actually amazing. I'm more of a lip gloss girl, so that's why I always go with lip gloss. I feel like it goes great with the eyes just because the eyes are already very colorful. I wanted something neutral for the lips. For our setting spray, we are going to be using the Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. I'm going to cover my eyes. I just love how that smells. It smells so good. So that was it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this purple look. I did. I absolutely love how it turned out. So if you guys haven't got your hands in this Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, make sure you guys do, because it is beautiful and it's honestly worth every penny that you spend on it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more YouTube videos. And don't forget to hit that bell ring button right beside that subscription button so you guys can get notified every time I post a video. But yeah, that was it for today. I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye guys.